So Laal Singh Chaddha didn't perform well at the box office with just 45 crores in the extended weekend it released, and that's unheard for an Aamir Khan film in the last 10 to 15 years. So was it a bad film or the hate and the boycott trend worked? Let's talk about it. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and my review for Laal Singh Chaddha is out. If you haven't seen, do check it out. And I had mixed thoughts on the film. The film has the heart and the soul, but the pacing is a very big issue. It feels really slow, and personally for me, it lacked that wow factor. And see, irrespective of what was happening around the film, if the film was absolutely amazing, I would have said that. And if the film was really bad, I would have said that too. But I was in the middle. But that's not the same with the masses. The film is very polarizing. People are either loving it, calling it a masterpiece, and then there are people who just outright hate it. And then there's the boycott gang who are just copy pasting the same thing everywhere across the internet. And I received a mix of all of this in my comment section. And instead of answering them one by one, I thought let's make a video and answer the questions and the criticisms the film is getting. And I did receive a lot of personal attacks, but I tend to ignore them. This is a spoiler video, so only continue if you have seen the movie. Now the first big one which actually relates to me a lot, that this film is insulting Sikhs and Sardars. How? We are following a story of a character who is a Sikh. That's it. Whatever that character does not mean every Sikh person in the world is like that. I know who I am, what I believe in. A character on screen cannot change that. But I'm also open to see different people with different abilities and see their stories unfold. The film literally had a 5-minute long disclaimer saying that whatever shown in the film is just to tell a story. It means nothing. They are not saying anything to anyone or any community. And even after that, if that is the criticism, then you're just trying to find faults. And the funny part is it always happens with a religion. Oh, this character does it and he's from that religion. That's what you're trying to say? It never happens with like a Kabir Singh. Oh, you are showing a doctor like this. Oh, you are showing a lover like this. Like everyone who goes through a breakup, starts drinking. No, we'll never say that. But when it comes to religion, and if a character follows certain religion in a film, then we're like, oh, you are insulting the whole religion because the character does something which is not acceptable. The story is about an individual. The religion that individual follows is a part of the character, not the whole character. A character having a low IQ has nothing to do with the religion he follows. It's just sad, we are not analyzing what we are seeing. We are just reading a WhatsApp forward or a Facebook post and, making up our minds. If you feel it's an insult, please think why. And when you do that, you realize it's not insulting. It's just the malaria in our head. And from that, coming to the malaria dialogue, it comes out of innocence in the story because the mother doesn't want to tell his kid that, what's happening around. So just telling him it's malaria, so don't go out. So he doesn't get into trouble. Malaria is not religion. Malaria is people using religion to fight and create tension. The second one, the film is insulting Indian army. How can a person with a low IQ get into army? First of all, it is fiction. The film doesn't need to follow every rule that happens in the real world. And again, that is said in the disclaimer. The argument is that in the original Forrest Gump, during the Vietnam War, the US Army was recruiting everyone and anyone. And that's how Forrest Gump ends up in the army. This film doesn't use the same logic. That's the difference. Now, the film never says he's suffering from anything. The terms like autism, ADHD, these were not well-known things back then. And we see Laal doing so well in the training. There's a whole scene his superior calling him a genius. And he says, I love being in the army because it's easy to follow. The instructions are clear and I just have to do that. That's it. And in army, you have to follow the chain of command. And he's really good at it. And forget insulting the army. On the other hand, the film is celebrating it. They are saying that the army made a man like this also a good soldier. There is this perspective also. But why are we constantly going on the other perspective that they're insulting the army? I don't think so. It's totally opposite. But why we only want to see the negative side? Malaria. The other big issue a lot of people had, why they changed Lieutenant Dan's character into a terrorist. How did no one know that he's a terrorist? And then later he becomes a CEO of a big company and no one cares and all of that. Again, it's a fiction. In the realm of the film, these things work. The whole film is that anything can happen. Now, if you have a different ideology that how can you save a terrorist, he killed our people, we should kill him back, that's it, then that's a separate topic. The film goes in a different direction. It wants to go to the root cause of it. You kill one terrorist, another one comes up. With Mohammad Paji's character, you are making a statement. How the enemy used these people for their benefit. How they are brainwashed. And that character realizing it and going back to change things, to change the youth. The film is giving a message of peace. And I still remember when that happened in the movie, I was so shocked. I was like, oh my God. Are they doing this? This will definitely create controversy. And it did. And honestly, if they had a character like Lieutenant Dan, people would have still got offended. How can you show army personnel like this? I felt this remake was justifiable. The story is still relevant. But the reason it may not have worked with the masses, and a lot of people are talking about this, that this film doesn't have a quintessential hero. He's not super strong, he's not badass, he's not a genius. He's just a common man with low IQ. He's a person the society calls a loser. And maybe that challenges the concept of a hero for the masses. It's not easy to digest. It doesn't make sense to us. It is illogical. And there are a lot of valid criticisms people had about the film. It is slow. There is pacing issue. Aamir Khan's acting didn't work for many people. The second half and the ending drags. And all of these issues make sense. And the funny part is, it is an official remake. People are complaining, how can you remake such a great film? Bollywood only remakes, etc. And after watching the film, the complaint is, why did you change things? Why is it not frame by frame remake? And if they had done a frame by frame remake, even that would have been an issue. Then what to do? Don't remake, right? But even that's not possible. Why? Check out this video to know that, where Anurag Kashyap revealed it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you like this, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.